So hey everybody, and as always, welcome to the channel and thanks for stopping by. My name is Rich Charpentier. I'm the channel host, and most often here we're going to be talking about drones and mobile tech. Today we're going to be talking about the fact that I've been missing for a little while, and I'm a little unsettled with doing one of these videos again. It's been a little while. I popped one up the other week while I was on the road, but got out of the habit of doing this, so here I am back in front of the camera. Um, while my YouTube landscape might be looking a little Spartan over the past couple weeks because I've been missing and busy on projects, there's actually a couple of new videos. So I've got my YouTube studio up here. I've got two new videos that are actually unlisted on the channel because they're exclusive to my patrons on Patreon right now, and down the road those might get opened up to the public. But so there are actually two new videos, so I haven't been missing as long as you think. I've got a new video on my drone ranch project, part 3, actually getting the first full flight in for that ranch project, and you can see other videos on the ranch project here on channel as well. I'll make sure to put some info in the info cards and drop downs so that you can check those out. And then I've got another 30-minute long video building a new client's drone deliverables web page. So one of the things I get asked a lot of questions about, people like the deliverable web pages that I build. The other day I had to build a new one for a customer because we were doing their first flight, the first official flight. And so as I was building that web page, I said, you know what, I'm going to delete everything and I'm going to do a start to finish, build this page to show people what goes into the process using WordPress and Xtheme. And of course, you can use other tools as well. It's not exclusive to WordPress and Xtheme. That's just the platform that I choose to use. Now, let's get to today's topic, thinking outside of the box. So I'm going to take us back in time a little bit, and you're seeing some images and video from where I've been recently. So the other week I was out of town for a little over a week. I was working at a client location in Casa Grande, Mesa, and Apache Junction. I was actually bouncing all over the place down in the Phoenix area. And I work with a chain of RV resorts. I've been working with them for years. I've actually been working with them longer than I've been officially flying drones for them. So the bulk of my work for those clients is web work, but while I'm on site, if I have opportunities, I do also do some imaging work and some drone work for the clients as well. Now, when drones first started becoming popularized, we had actually purchased one end of 2013, start of 2014, did some fun flying with that original drone, which is one of the original Phantoms that I had a GoPro attached to. And one of my intentions when we started doing drone work and learning about drone work was that I wanted to bring drone flight to the RV parks and resorts that I work with and do web work with. Because what a unique way to show off an RV resort. What a unique way to show off any other kind of vacation destination, don't you think? So one of the things I want to suggest to you if you're early into building your drone business is think outside of the box. So I already had a customer base because of the web work that I was doing for them that I could make drone services available to them as well. When a lot of people first start their drone businesses, the first thing they think is the real estate market. And now, as this channel is proving to me, a lot of people are interested in doing construction projects, progression projects, 3D modeling, all that stuff. It's all great, it's all fun, it's all highly visible, and we all hear about it. What I want you to think about for a minute is, what kind of niche market that you're already aware of could you build into? In my case, when I first started hearing about drones, I said, oh, wow, this could fit with RV parks and resorts. And it ties into the business model that we're already building. And over time, I've found that the RV parks and resorts are more interested and more open to thinking about displaying their parks in new ways, showing off their parks in new ways. One of the sites that I worked at during my time down there was a 55 plus resort community, not even an RV resort, not an RV park. This is just a resort community down in the Phoenix area. And they had done some upgrades recently to their overall landscaping and their paving and updates to their community centers. And they wanted to show all that off. And so part of my time there with them was also doing some 360 imaging with a 360 camera and doing a couple of very short flights, not big flights or anything for them, just to give people a feel for the overall community. So it kind of sounds like real estate work for drone pilots because we are dealing with real estate, but it's a unique niche market that I had already carved out for myself for the web work. So as you're considering what you're doing with your drone business, start thinking outside of the box. Okay, we've got real estate, we've got mapping, we've got progression stuff, we've got video. What fits into your skill set? And what businesses are interested in your skill sets beyond drones? If you can tie those things together, you might start developing a really interesting market space for yourself that then you can share with other communities as well. One thing that always pops into my head, I'd like to get in more with some of these B&Bs and vacation destinations to show off their facilities and their proximity to recreational activities and what those recreational activities are. And imaging and video and drone flight could all tie into that kind of market space. So don't confine yourself. You know, it seems like we all come up doing, hey, we did some real estate and we did some of this and we did some of that. And it seems like this progression and stair step that everybody's participating in. But take a few minutes, use your creativity, give some thought to what other things tie into my abilities and skill sets. By the way, just to let you know, my interest in 3D modeling with drones isn't something that just came up in my head when I started using drones. Actually, after I left AT&T Wireless in the early 2000s, one thing that I was working on that I was enjoying, and I was doing it for myself as kind of a sideline hobby, I was actually building maps for bicycling. So I like northern New Hampshire. I lived in New Hampshire at the time, and I loved the Pittsburgh, New Hampshire area right up on the Canadian border. Moose everywhere, just an amazing location, and an amazing location with a lot of Forest Service roads and a lot of logging roads. So I started documenting all of these different logging roads and off-roading opportunities in northern New Hampshire, thinking that maybe other cyclists would have an interest in that because it's such a remote location, such an interesting place to go mountain biking. And basically, a lot of people in the New England area thought that New Hampshire ended at Mount Washington. You get up to Mount Washington, you get to Berlin, New Hampshire, and you don't go further north. But if you keep going further north, you get into these really remote wilderness areas that were absolutely mind-blowing. So I started doing a lot of mapping work for my own fun and my own interest. I'd played with ArcGIS over the years as I was working in telecom with the radio frequency group. So I did learn a lot about ArcGIS. And back in the early 2000s, I actually purchased my own licenses for several different GIS applications for building those out. So when we talk about 3D models here, when we talk about mapping and stuff, this interest didn't just come from working with drones. This was actually something I was interested in for quite some time before. So think about that and think about those other skill sets and hobbies and interests that you have and see if any of those things fit within building your drone business. I'm going to bet you that you've probably got one or two ideas that you haven't seen on YouTube or on any other of these video channels. Something's going to pop into your head, some personal interest that you could tie together with your business and maybe offer that as a new niche market for yourself as well. So think really creative, and hopefully, you've been watching the videos and the stills here. You get the idea of some of the work that I was doing. And once again, sorry for disappearing for so long. That first week down there, I was in a network black hole. And then when I got back up here last week, it was playing catch up with all the uploads and things that I needed to do for the client project I was doing. All right. I didn't mean for this one to run so long. I never do. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping in as always. A special thanks to everyone who signed up on my Patreon channel. I hope that you're enjoying the couple of new videos that aren't showing up here yet. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, there's a link above. And on that link above, you can find out more about the Patreon channel, what I'm doing with it, and where we'll be going with it here in 2020. We'll see you on the next video. Have an awesome day. And as always, thanks for hanging out.